I think that at the end of the day, the one thing we can all agree on is that Margot deserves better. That is it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about my watching experience of the final To All the Boys movie, which was Always and Forever Laura Jean. And boy, was it a journey. Let me start by saying that I absolutely adored the first movie. I can't tell you how many times I watched it when it came out with so many different friends, my boyfriend, everything. And I loved it. I think it's timeless, it's relatable, it's not super duper cringy. Like, yes, it's a teen rom-com type thing, but it was good. It was well made and enjoyable. And then the second movie happened. And it was trash. I can't remember what his name is at this very moment in time, but the guy that played John Ambrose is literally the only good thing about the second movie. I didn't enjoy Peter and Laura Jean's characters in the slightest. The characters were mean and petty to one another. They made stupid decisions and lied to one another a ton. Basically just caused drama for no reason. And then I don't understand some of the directing choices, like with her mouthing the words to the song as she's in the hallway and people are just moving around and I don't know, it was weird. And then they floated at the end, and I don't know when this became a fantasy or sci-fi book/movie instead of just a young adult contemporary, but apparently it happened at the end of the second movie. So after the second movie, let me just say that I didn't have the highest of hopes for the third one, and as far as things are concerned, it was just meh. I would watch the first movie over and over again still to this day and be happy. I wish to never watch the second movie again, to be honest. And this third movie was just kind of forgettable. It was just there. It wasn't bad enough for me to absolutely hate it, and it wasn't good enough for me to ever want to watch it again, really. So I guess that's like a general summary of my feelings about it, but I wrote down my thoughts as I actually watched the movie, and boy did I have a lot of thoughts about the stupidity that I was witnessing. We're not going to go through every little piece. Let me just start by breaking down a little bit of the main things, and we'll go from there. So, Laura Jean, her character. Did she not learn anything about honesty from the events of the second movie? Because I think she did not. Was the whole second movie for naught? Was there no reason for its existence except to prove that John Ambrose McLaren, I'm pretty sure that's his last name, but he deserves the world? Seriously though, like, she just starts off lying up the wazoo and not being honest about what she wants, and I understand that it can be hard to have an honest conversation with somebody when you feel like it could hurt their feelings or they could take it wrong, I guess. But goodness gracious, the amount of times that she repeats the same mistakes drives me insane. I can't stand when a character doesn't learn. Like, yes, she had decent motivations and she didn't want to hurt Peter, but still, the choices she makes, I do not agree with all of them. Also, can we just talk about how rude she is to Margot for no reason? Margot is just like the most awesome and most mature character out of all three of these sisters, and Laura Jean just constantly in each movie, I think, has given her crap, and I do not understand why. Margot deserves better. Justice for Margot. But I will say that I am very glad that Laura Jean ended up doing what was best for her. I'm trying to keep things vague so it's not super spoilery. She ended up doing and making the best choices for her at the end. I just wish she could have done it differently. Peter. Okay, so at least in terms of adorableness, Peter redeemed himself a little bit more in this movie for me. The second one, I absolutely hated him, which was insane for me because I absolutely just loved his character in the first movie, and then the second movie destroyed every bit of care I had for him. So I'm glad that he was sweet and did cute, thoughtful things again for Laura Jean in the second movie. That was at least very redeeming in my eyes. He also had just a lot of unresolved hurt and emotions as the result of his family situation, and I'm glad that the movie explored that a little bit more, although I feel like it was also very rushed and not as fleshed out as it could have been. But there was enough for you to get the gist of them trying to point out why he was acting and reacting the way that he was acting and reacting. I just think that he overreacted when Laura Jean did tell him what she wanted, and he was like, well, I guess that's it. That's the end for us. Like, how dramatic must you be, sir, to not realize that cell phones are a thing and plane flights? If you really care about somebody, you'll make it work. You're not the only one that's ever been faced with okay, this is kind of spoilery, but you're not the only one that's ever been faced with a potentially long distance relationship. Like, I even did it, and yes, it's not fun, but it's possible and it's doable. And if the person means enough to you, and if the relationship is healthy and meant to be, you'll make it work. But this man was ready to just throw in the towel because he got his butt hurt for a second there. I don't know that I have much else to say about him. Again, I loved how cute he was in certain times, and he did some adorable things. And I loved the end of the movie for Peter and Laura Jean in the cute tie-in to the first movie. I don't know that I was completely satisfied. I was just kind of like meh with the ending as a whole, but I did like the little tie-in. That was good. Kitty as a character is not my favorite. I did like that she and Laura Jean had a bit more of sister bonding time, and they explored that a little bit more than they have in the past movies, but this girl just likes to cause trouble. And I don't know why Laura Jean thought it was a good idea to trust her with her college acceptance passwords. You know exactly what kind of trouble Kitty got into last time she had any sort of control over a part of your life. And granted, last time Laura Jean did not give Kitty control over any part of her life. Kitty just took it for herself. I don't know, it just doesn't make the most sense to me. And then for Laura Jean to get mad at Kitty for not telling Laura Jean about one of her acceptances, it just was pointless to me. But the new stepmom, I loved her. And I'm so glad that those two girls had someone to kind of help talk some sense into them. And I know their dad tries a little bit, and he gives a few words of cheesy YA wisdom here and there, but goodness, was the level-headedness of the new stepmom just really needed. Oh, one good thing is that, I don't mean to say that there was no good things in this movie, but one thing that I actually really did enjoy was the progress made in the relationship between Laura Jean, Jen, who was Laura Jean's previous rival, and I think her name is Chrissy, the best friend of Laura Jean, who also kind of pisses me off because she was pressuring Laura Jean into doing something that Laura Jean had said she wasn't ready for yet. Anyways, the relationship between the three of those young women was fleshed out a little bit more. I loved that there was actually growth from the resolution of the second movie between Laura Jean and Jen, and seeing how that blossomed a little bit more into mature interactions and discussions that weren't about putting each other down. They were actually positive. The movie really just needed some sort of saving grace, and I think that this improvement in the girl friendship was one, at least in my eyes. I don't really think that I have too many other vague, non-spoilery things to talk about for this movie, but what I'm planning to do, so hopefully this is a reality, and if it is, then I'll include this part in the video, and if it is not a thing, then it will not be included, so there's that. But what I'm hoping is that I will be able to write out the notes that I took, because I took an extensive amount of notes, to be honest. I took 5 pages of notes while watching this movie, and just the thoughts that I was having. And I'm not saying that they're anything super special or crazy, but it was really just my inner monologue, and I wrote it down. So I'm hoping that I will be able to type that out onto my blog and link the post with all of my typed out thoughts down below in the description. So if you want to read my thoughts, feel free to do so. Check that out. And I guess that's it. So the To All the Boys franchise has come to an end. I forgot to mention this, but I actually never read this series, so I had no clue what to expect going into it. You know, I'm glad that at the end of the series, the characters did grow as people. They came a long way from the first movie. We're just going to pretend the second movie didn't exist, with the exception of the resolution of some female friendships, because other than that, it did nothing. It served no purpose. Just drama. But I did like that the third movie explored more of the growth and served to close off the high school chapter of these characters' lives and leave it open-ended as to what their life might have been like in college and beyond. If I was to rate this movie, I would probably give it a 2 or a 3. I'm kind of tied on that, simply just because I don't think it was anything special, but it wasn't awful. It was not a terrible movie like the second one, which I would have rated a 1 out of 5 stars. I do still think that if you enjoyed the first movie or the second movie, that you should finish this one off just to give yourself some closure to the series and see how all of the arcs come to an end. But I think that personally there were different ways they could have done this while showing better character development resulting from the first 2 movies earlier on in the movie rather than just at the end. And that is all. Hopefully that makes sense. But thanks for hanging out and listening to me kind of rant about this movie a little bit. Again, check out the link in the description below to read my blog post with my typed out thoughts as I was watching the movie. Gotta love those inner monologues, you know, we all have them. That is all I have for you today, so I hope that you are staying safe, that you know you are loved, and I will see you next time. Bye!